Today we're going to learn about salamanders and trilliums in the redwood forest. They both like each other, and I just wanted to show you what we'll be doing today. Here is an awesome salamander. This might be a better picture here. Salamander. And it has sort of spots. And here's one over here. There, and they're pretty good sized, like a foot. They're pretty good sized. And they live in the redwood forest area. They love to be where the redwoods are because it's moist and wet. And trilliums are plants that grow right under the redwood trees. So here's a trillium here, and it has 3 different leaves on here and a little tiny what would be called a flower in there, and a really straight stem that's coming right up out of the bottom of the redwood forest. And here's the top. If you look straight down, it's got the 3 leaves. Trillium, tri is 3 leaves, and then in the middle what would be called a flower would be in the middle. And they only come up in the spring, and they live a very long time, just like salamanders do. So what we're going to need today is a pencil, a Sharpie with a really sharp point, right? And if you have some ordinary colored pencils, that's awesome. Just ordinary colored pencils, that's awesome. But I like to use watercolored pencils. So it says here water, and it says watercolor, and there's a little brush on it. These are beautiful. If you have these are wonderful. If not, don't worry, because the colored pencils make beautiful art just the way they are, as long as you layer them. Do a lot of layers, beautiful light little layers. Now what I'm going to be doing right now is I want to show you how we do this salamander, but I am going to use my Sharpie instead of the pencil. You're going to use a pencil. I'm going to use the Sharpie so you can actually see it. So salamanders like to be in moist areas. You'll find salamanders in redwood duff. They also give birth, they're babies. So what I'm going to here, let's start like this. It's kind of an oval. I just want you to feel this. You don't have to actually draw it. It's like an oval, like that oval, long skinny oval, almost like a fat pencil. So we're going to start, let's start over here with the back, and we're going to go bum bum bum. And it's bumpy. It's bumpy, it's okay. And then it's got its little head here. And you know what I like to do here? I actually want to come up and give it a little mouth. Okay, and then we're going to come over here, right? Okay, and then we're going to come all the way over here like this. Now the next part of this one is the tail. The tail is not quite half, but it's really a lot. It's like 40%. So here's the tail. Tail, tail, tail. Tail, 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 tail. Yeah, it's happy. It's got a little smile on it, right? Okay, so it probably needs some eyes before we even do the feet. So let's do an eye here. And the other eye is kind of like on the other side, right? You won't really see the other eye. Sometimes people put a little bump there. But now let's put his feet. It needs feet. And the feet are so interesting. On the front feet, it has like 4 little fingers. So it kind of goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, right? Okay, and then the back side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost like a hand, like that, right? Okay, and it has spots. It's not exactly spots, they're just kind of splotches. I call them splotches like that. So we're just going to do some splotches here. Splotches, splotches. Yeah, it's just splotchy. It's so it can get in the redwood duff where they're on the ground and kind of blend in, because things do want to eat it. It eats things. It will even eat a little banana slug, and I thought, oh, poor banana slugs, but it will eat because it's this big. It's bigger. It'll eat things that are smaller than itself. So that's you know, that's what they do. They even will do, they'll do insects, all kinds of insects. Now, mostly when they get born, they're born in the water. So the mama lays the eggs in the water, and it takes them really a long time to hatch, and maybe almost 9 months, like the how old a baby is, or when a human baby. And then they swim around for a little while. In a few years, like 1 or 2 years, they get out and go onto the land. So this is our salamander. They live about 15 years old. They can live 15 years old. The next thing we're going to do now is the trillium. So what I want you to do, though, is watch this. We're going to just come up here and then leap up here and do a dot, right? Just leap up there and do a dot. Trillium means three. It has 3 giant leaves, so we're going to do one. It's a little bit pointy. 1. If it's okay if it goes over the stem, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. 2 and 3. A little bit pointy. Kind of fat. See? Like that. Right? Good. And then here's the time we could just do the second part of the stem. It's you know, good stem. Like that. Okay. Good. Now, we're going to do the flower type thing inside. So it kind of looks like that. Look, just same thing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and it has stamen, little things that stick out. A couple of ones that are kind of like that. Maybe ones that are just like that stick out. And the other thing that I do like to include a little bit, but maybe not a lot, is the veins in the leaves. There's lines, there's design on these leaves. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, a design on the leaves. That's great. Now, what I want you to know, it's in the redwoods. We talked about that, right? And the redwoods will be all over the floor. They're going to be all over the floor. So we're going to just draw some redwoods here. Here's a redwood. Let's take a look at this redwood here. Okay, we've got a redwood here, and here, and here, and one over here. And then it's needle leaves, so we're just going to go needle leaves, needle leaves, needle leaves, needle leaves, needle leaves. Like this, needle leaves, needle leaves, needle leaves. Little tiny ones at the tippy tops, needle leaves, needle leaves. So it's kind of pokey, a little pokey. There, like that, needle leaves, needle leaves, needle leaves. And then the ends is kind of small, but they're a little bigger in here. And needle leaves, needle leaves. See that? Needle leaves. And that's all over the ground are old pieces of redwood that have fallen. And they'll be on the ground, and that shows it's on the ground, and we can do that. So basically, what we're done with this part. And now the next thing I want you to do is you actually take the real Sharpie that I just did, but you're going to take the Sharpie and you're going to outline all of this outline. Wherever you did the pencil, you're going to outline your creature, right? Out your creature. Outline, do all this outline, the whole creature, outline, and the spots, and the eyeball, and the smile, and you're going to do the trillium, you're going to outline everything in your picture that you already did with pencil. You're going to trace it with your Sharpie, okay? Now, I'm going to give you a minute to do that, because the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to be adding color. And I like to have my colors pretty ready here. So I have the salamander. The spots on the salamander are kind of dark. They're almost dark brown. So I'm going to add a little of this very dark brown here. And one of the things I've mentioned before is that one of the ways of making watercolor pencils work, or any kind of colored pencils work, is to put layers down. Layers. Okay, so we're going to do this one here. So we're going to just do one, and this is a very dark brown, but it's also close to a dark brown, gray, black, these spots are. So we're just going to do this. There, and just fill in those spots, fill those spots in. Oh, good. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do on this one here will be, see if I can find, a charcoal gray. That's perfect. Charcoal gray. That's great. So put that one on. It's really fun, the names of colors. I mean, sometimes they're ordinary names, but sometimes the names of the colors are very, very interesting, very creative ideas. Well, charcoal gray actually does give me an idea of exactly what this color is. I don't have to guess because I know what charcoal looks like. It's very, very dark. It's like burnt wood. And gray is a combination of burnt wood and gray. So the next thing we're going to do in here is we're going to be filling out the background here. Now it's actually kind of a light brown, but I'm going to start with a little yellow. Don't have to. I'm going to go around my dark parts here, right? Okay. Round. Da da da. There we go. Now, you know these newts, as I said that, did I say they live 25 years? They can live up to 25 years. It takes a couple of years for them to come out of the water. They're mostly nocturnal. They'll come out in the rain, after a rain, and look for some like munchies out there, some bugs that might be out there too. But they're nocturnal for the most part, and they like to hide in the daytime under old rotten logs, maybe even a rock, you know, just in places where it be cool and moist. Cool and moist. So the next one I'm going to do here, this would be a fairly dark color. Which one is this one here? Mustard. Okay, there we go. That's not exactly my idea of mustard. Oh, that must be a dark mustard. Okay, fine. There, all right, so dark mustard. And that's actually not a bad color. And remember I told you we were going to be doing layers? Well, that's what I want you to do. I want you to do layers. And actually, even though they're very smooth creatures, you know, they don't have fur, right? No fur. They still have kind of a texture, so it's okay to have your strokes be a little rough looking. And then if you're using watercolor pencils, we're going to be blending all these colors later on. But even if you're not using watercolor pencils and you're using regular pencils, that can be absolutely beautiful just by layering the colors. And you see, I'm not pressing hard, right? Am I pressing hard? Nope, I'm not. I'm pressing lightly, very lightly, so that I can have enough. I don't press so hard that I take up all the space. I can come back, there's a little white left, and I can come back and add more color. And I'm going to say it would be good to add maybe 3 colors, okay? 3 colors is good. So let's see this one here. That's a fuchsia. We're not going to do that one. Let's try this one here. This one is Baked Earth. All right. Oh, look, that's a good color. So we're going to do Baked Earth, and this is about the color. Okay. And all salamanders are different, right? Of course, they're all different. I mean, this particular one is called a Giant Coastal Salamander, or Giant California Salamander, and we find them around the Santa Cruz area, but they can be anywhere around the Redwoods, Northern California, I think even up Oregon. In any event, it's along the coast, redwood forests. You really want to be in the redwood forest, and animals get accustomed to places where they live. So now you can see I did quite a few on here. I might do more, but right now I actually want to move on and do our trillium. Now our trillium, this one is teal green, kind of nice one. Look, I just want to get some color into our awesome trillium because I want to show you something new today. I want to show you how we're going to work with some chalk. Okay, but so this is, I love trilliums. They come up in the spring and they live about 25 years, like 25 years for a plant. And they mostly spread underground with roots that keep making more of themselves. And they're kind of like tubers underground. They have rhizomes that look like skinny potatoes. And they grow and grow and grow. So where you find one trillium, you're going to find more. You're going to find more because they're all connected to the same root system. Just like redwood trees, especially in an older forest, are connected to the same root systems. And so trilliums like to be in the system. So where you see one, you're going to see more. So here's the stem, but the stem actually is a little bit darker. It has a little brown in it. Some stems actually do have some brown in it. And then this actually, the flower can be many colors. I start with a white because they're generally light. But the flower can be purpley, it can be kind of even bluish, or it can be an orangey color. Let's put a little, just a little of this color here. There we go. Oops, that's not exactly the color I wanted. Let me see if I can find us kind of a charcoal. Let's see, kind of a pinky kind of color would be good. There, let me find it over here. Yeah, so this could be a good color. Let's just try this one. Sometimes it even could be a little bit blue too. Good, a little of this. Let's try that. Okay. Good. Okay, now the redwood down here. Here's our redwood here. It's kind of a darkish green, sort of a darkish green, but we can just start with this here. And we're just going to make it a fresh redwood. Oftentimes when they're on the ground, you're going to find that they're dead. But they get knocked off. You know, the breeze comes and knocks them off, or, you know, they all kinds of redwood pieces and other things end up on the ground. There, and maybe I'll add just a tiny bit of brown to this. Redwoods have a little bit of brown. It's redwood. Of course, it's called redwood because it's red inside, not so much the red outside. But this is good. We like that. Now, this is the new thing I wanted to show you. You know, I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but look. Chalk. I hope you have some chalk at home, because I'm going to show you a technique for doing a chalk background. Now this part down here, all of this would be the dirt, right? So this is how I do chalk. This is a special way that makes it quick and easy. I just get something like toilet paper or paper towels, and then I tear a little piece off, like that, or a piece like that, right? Fold it over, and then I try to make it like a finger, like that, see, kind of like a finger, and then I twist it. See? And then what I'm going to do, now the colors that I might find down here could be a color like that, or like that, or like that. It could be even a little greens like that. Look at all these cool colors that would be on the ground, right? So watch what I'm doing. I'm going to go blah, and I'm rubbing it here like this, rub, and I'm just doing just little tiny rubbings here. Okay, and then here's a little bit of brown because there's brown on the ground, right? Okay, there we go, brown on the ground. Right there, not a lot, you don't want a lot, not necessarily a lot. And here's a different kind of brown. That's cool, different kind of brown. And then kind of a tan brown, that's cool too. And a little bit of green, different color green. You saw that was all different. Now, you see this is all very light looking, and that's okay, because we just mostly want to show that there's some color there, okay? Now, because they're nocturnal, it doesn't mean they never go out in the daytime. It does mean that I might want to use either dark colors or sunset colors. So, just for today, I might want to show sunset colors because it's really fun to learn how a sunset could be. And then I might add a little bit of darker color towards the top where it's getting dark, right? Maybe even a little gray. So sunset colors could be like this, right? Yeah, no gray. Here we go. Now watch what I'm doing here. So I have my yellow. Actually, that's not my best yellow. Let's use this yellow over here. Good yellow. Okay. So I got my yellow, and I'm going to go rub, and I'm going to come in here. And I'm only going to do these colors next to each other. I'm not doing them on top of each other. So there's my yellow. Here's my orange. I'm not doing, not in this picture. I'm not doing them on top. Okay? Because I just want to show you how they are next to each other for this. And a little bit of red maybe. So we're pretending this is sunset. and say, oh, this is sunset. Oh, that's nice. So here I am, rub, 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 and then I'm spreading this out over here. And then the last thing I might do on this one, it could be because it's getting dark, right? Because it would be sunset getting dark because they're nocturnal. Maybe just a little blue up here, dark blue. It's like a dark blue, okay? Like a dark blue. Remember, I'm not putting them so much on top of each other as I am next to each other. Now, I'm allowing myself to blend a tiny, tiny bit in here. Look at that, I'm blending a little tiny bit more. Just a tiny bit, that's it. Just a tiny bit more, okay. And the next thing we're going to do, watch this, we're going to get water. And now if you have just the regular pencils, keep adding more layers, okay? But right now, I'm going to do this. I'm going to first do my trillium. Oh, look at that trillium. You are a good trillium. Very pretty. The sign of spring. Sign of spring. Very beautiful. And it makes everybody happy when they see them. They say, oh, look at spring. The trillium are up. There. And so I'm just putting water wherever you put the colored pencil. Don't put it on the charcoal or the chalk. Only put it wherever the colored pencil is. Colored pencil. There. There. Now this one is a little trickier. I'm going to ask you only to go around the black. And my general rule for watercolor is black is last. So be really careful not to touch the black when you're doing this, because it starts to bleed all over your picture, and you don't want to do that. So just by being a little extra careful right now, you will not touch the black. And don't worry about it. It just keep going, and just try not. Just go around your dots, right? Go around your dots. It might take a little extra time. It's worth it, because in a minute we'll go back to the dots, but at the moment we don't want to be getting black all over the brown part of our salamander, right? Here we go, we're almost done. Almost done. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Okay. There we are. Whoops. Got a little black there. Okay. Now I'm going to go back and do my black. Black, black, black. Do you see how they bleed a little? That's what they tend to do. Okay, so that's why I'm careful with black, or I try to be careful. You don't want to put too much water on because it will bleed all over the place. There we go. Black, 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 black. And there we go. Oh, we have to do our redwood. Here's our redwood. There. And there we are. Look at that. That was pretty good. You did great. Look at that. Look at that. So what this is a salamander and a trillium. Wow. You did awesome. Look at that. Good job.